Hey everybody, it's Christine up today for Simple Stories using their Simple Vintage Lemon Twist collection, which is an absolutely gorgeous, unique collection from them. Using the colors, really the colors that you see me using today are the primary colors with some green mixed in there, but it's really this black, yellow, and teal turquoise color that are the main focus. And this is just a really unique vintage collection. But as usual for Simple Stories, while it's got a vintage twist to it, it is not so vintage that you can't use it if vintage is not necessarily your style. So today I'm starting things off. I'm going to use this gingham plaid paper for a background. And so I cut it in all three of the colors that they had. And I'm going to do 3 strips straight down the middle of my base. I am also using some cardstock from this collection. They have a coordinating cardstock pack that goes with it, and this one is white and has some distressing on it, and then they have it with all different colors that coordinate exactly with this collection. So I'm going to lay those 3 out, and then I'm going to also use 3 pictures with the chipboard frames that come with this collection. I really like this oval one, and so I'm going to use that one for sure, and then I think I'm going to use one of them that is for 2 pictures and put 2 pictures into it. I opted to use pictures of my daughter, some spring photos of her in a black top, so it coordinated really nicely with this collection. It's also got quite a bit of green in the background that coordinates well with it. So right now I'm just going to trim down my pictures for the frame that has 2 pictures, and you saw that I measured approximately. I'm just going to cut those a little bit bigger than they measure to fit in the frame so that I can adhere them more easily. And I will tuck those in, and then the oval one I'm just going to go ahead and cut around it. The chipboard frames from Simple Stories are always a favorite of mine in collections, and if they come with the collection, there's a very good chance I'm going to be using them on my layout. I just like what they do for the pictures. I like the dimension that they add, and quite honestly, I like the design jumping off point that they give you. You will see that as I build this layout today, my frames on it really lead me in how to embellish. And so that is just a fantastic aspect of them. They're not so overly simple that they require a lot of design work afterwards, but they're also not so overly designed that they are overwhelming to use. Hope that makes sense. I think it probably does if you've worked with them at all. So I'm going to go ahead and get those gingham pieces adhered, and I am going to stagger those and not make them perfectly straight, just because I don't want them to be perfectly straight. I don't want everything to be super crisp on this is what I really am going for. And so by doing that, I am just breaking things up a little bit and adding some interest that way. Now, I am going to go ahead and pull up the edges of those to distress them, again, to break up the crispness of things going on. A vintage style collection, I feel like you can't have too many crisp lines. It just doesn't work as well, and so I'm trying to play to that. If I was working with something that was super crisp and the gingham was not a distressed gingham and all that stuff, then I might go for straighter lines and more crisp, clean look, but not in that case, not in this case today. So continuing on, you can see I'm just literally taking my fingers and pulling the edges up and kind of rubbing on them and rolling them to get them to that point. Now, finally, let's secure those frames on there. So I've got the oval one. I'm going to do that on the upper left side. And then the double one is going to go below that to the right. One thing I am going to do is just add some 3D foam adhesive to the double one, simply because I'm going to overlap it a little bit over the oval one. And so it's going to need some height in the bottom corner there. Otherwise, it will be laying not flat, which is, that's all kind of obvious as you're going, but maybe not as obvious on camera as to why I'm doing what I'm doing. So that is why I'm adding some adhesive there. So you can see I'm using some big pieces. I'm just using some frames, some 3D frames, 3D foam adhesive frames from Scrapbook Adhesives by 3L to add those. I had some extra ones that were not getting used, and so I just decided to use that for that today to cover a bigger space quicker. Now the embellishing. So I'm going to tell you this is probably the fastest I have ever embellished and added a title to a layout. I stepped away from it overnight. I had created what you saw thus far, and I just didn't know where I was exactly going to go next. And so I stepped away, came back in the morning, and it was like 11 minutes and I was done. It was so fast. So I used the floral bits and pieces in this collection. And you can see I'm just creating clusters using those, but I did specifically pull out some of the teal ones and teal flowers specifically to start my clusters, and really building off of what the frames look like already, expanding that look. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to get a title on there. And there wasn't a perfect title just from the foam stickers. I love the foam stickers. There just wasn't perfect title for my specific pictures today on that. So I'm going to use Sweetest, but then I pulled out the sticker book that comes with this collection, and I'm going to add just plain and simple so it says the Sweetest, using those black letter stickers, and that was perfect. And I'm going to be honest with you, this is really what I prefer to do with a title. I love to mix and match. Both dimension-wise, product-wise, etc. It's great when you can pull them all from like just the foam sticker sheet or chipboard or cardstock stickers or whatever, but it's even better for me when I can make it work between a couple different products and really add some interest to the layout. So my third cluster will build up there by the title, and that you can see creates just a perfect triangle for the eye, framing those pictures on there. And I'm going to add all those different pieces using both just a regular tape runner and some 3D foam adhesive. Tucking, you can see at this point I'm working with some yellow flowers, tucking those yellow flowers in, and really I'm working within, okay, let's get some of the teal flowers, let's get some yellow in, let's get some black in, and just working between the colors and adding to each cluster as I go. But just dumping out those was super quick, super easy, and it worked fantastic. Finally, I'm going to add some butterflies to each cluster, and I am using 3D foam adhesive just in the middle of the butterfly there so that I can pull the wings up. And then I'm going to add some of their decorative brads. These are actually stickers, not brads, but they look like brads. And I love the texture that they add to a layout with the metal outline. So I'm going to add some of those into the gingham pattern throughout, coordinating the yellow on yellow, teal on teal, black on black. And that'll be my final addition to this layout. Love how it turned out. Love how easily it came together. Get your hands on this collection. It is absolutely gorgeous. Probably in my top 5 of Simple Stories collections ever, which, I mean, I love almost everything they create, so that is saying a lot. So grab it when you can. I know they were having some shipping delays, but it'll be available soon if it isn't already. Thanks so much for stopping by today, and we will see you again next time.